today's show celebrates friends and food, so I've invited my friend Jan Arden to come visit, cook with me, and of course share some wine in the process. Now, I know turkey is generally relegated to Thanksgiving and Christmas, but not today. Jan and I are roasting a turkey and making all the trimmings to go with it. And we're going to be visiting Dirtwilly's game bird farm, something I'm certain you don't want to miss. First, I'll be making a hazelnut and apricot stuffing along with orange brandy gravy to accompany the turkey. And no calories have been spared in the brown butter mashed potatoes we're serving with it. Because we can't just have turkey and mashed potato, we're also going to be making a warm pea salad with hazelnut butter. So join me and Jan for a gab, gobble and guzzle extravaganza on Simple, Fresh, Delicious. Brining a turkey makes it juicier and more tender, and you can brine it with almost anything you want. Now, brining turkey is the process of adding moisture and flavour to the meat by the use of salt water mixture. So there is a lot of salt in this, but we're going to rinse the turkey after it has been brined. Now, for every gallon or 4 litres of water that we're putting in, we're adding a cup of salt. So I'm using about 16 litres of water, and that will equate to 4 cups of salt. Now, with the salt, I'm also using sugar as well, so the same with the sugar. And what I'm doing is just dissolving them a little bit here in some extra water. Now, you can use anything you want, like I said. I've got a couple of onions here that I'm using. Put those in. Some garlic, I just want to halve that. Now, some peel, I'm putting some citrus into it. So that's just the peel. Add that in. Some orange peel as well. I've got some bay leaves here, just a handful of bay leaves. And some peppercorns, about 1/4 cup of peppercorns, and the same with the allspice. Now some fresh thyme. I'll just give that a little bruise. See how my mixture's doing here. Almost done. I can just feel a little bit of the salt in the bottom there, but that will be fine. So I'll pour this into the other mixture. The turkey into the brine mixture. So you want it to fully submerge. So then 1 hour per pound. So this is going to go into the fridge overnight for 8 hours because the turkey's 8 pounds. This hazelnut and apricot stuffing is one I make every year for Christmas. Now I'm going to start by using 4 slices of bacon that I've thinly chopped. I'm just going to cook those up a little bit. I use the zest from an orange, about 1 teaspoon of zest. 1 small onion here. I'm just going to throw that in the pan with the bacon. And a few cloves of garlic as well, and just 1 stalk of celery. So I always put an apple in my stuffing. Now I've also got here some cranberry sauce, 1/4 cup of cranberry sauce or cranberry jelly. Add some pepper to this. I'm also going to add a pinch of salt to that. Now here I've got some fresh breadcrumbs. I like to use the fresh breadcrumbs to make my stuffing. So I've got some chopped dried apricots here I'm going to add to that. So there's 1/3 cup of chopped dried apricots. I'll put that orange zest in. And then a couple of teaspoons of chopped fresh thyme. And that apple I grated earlier. Now I've got some hazelnuts here. I'm going to throw those in with the stuffing mixture. So once that jelly is almost all melted, we'll switch this off and then throw that into the bowl as well. So you can put that straight into the bird or put it into a container and just chill it until you're ready to use it. So, Jan, have you ever brined a turkey before?
I haven't, no.
I flavoured the brine with some allspice and some citrus and lots of salt, and then I've really given it a good rinse because there's a lot of salt in the brine.
Okay.
And I'm going to get you on stuffing duties.
I think I'll take my watch off.
Good idea.
Yeah, because I don't want to do a Mr. Bean.
So this is a really good stuffing. I made this earlier.
It looks delicious.
But if you want to start stuffing the turkey...
It's a huge cavern.
It is, considering that the turkey's smaller.
I may need to take my tops off to get the stuff
in
here.
There.
Okay, here we go. Just with my hand, no spoon, Livoni. This is just good.
Well, I tend to use my hand for things. Now, when you're stuffing a turkey, don't stuff it in there like...
No, I'm using a light touch.
That's
this is
good.
very similar to a date I had in 1983. Okay.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to try and do the other side.
Oh, it smells great.
Oh, yeah, it's good. I've got some cranberry in there. Okay, so this isn't quite as frisky as it was yesterday,
no.
Hey? When we were out at Dirtwilly's Game Bird Farm and Hatchery.
Poultry Emporium.
That's quite a mouthful.
You know,
hey?
it's a fantastic place.
It was great. We had such fun.
They were very friendly. Deborah, his wife, was awesome, and butter.
Brushing it with some butter.
So we'll be eating in what, 7 hours?
No, this is only going to take a few hours to cook.
Okay.
So I'm just going to brush a little bit of butter and then I'll just keep basting as it cooks.
I want to apologize in advance for the screaming that I did.
Why? I screamed so loud I hurt my throat. We had birds flying at us yesterday.
Yeah, I heard screaming and then I realized that it was you and I. I'm thinking, who's screaming? It's us.
I'm just going to add a little water. Now, the reason why I do that is so the drippings don't burn.
Oh, good idea.
These don't have as much fat in them as the commercially raised turkeys, though. Very good, though.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. So I'm just going to cook that with the foil on for an hour. This is just so it doesn't get too dark.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take the foil off.
Here, I'll grab the oven.
Thank you. Oh, don't strain yourself there, Jan.
No.
Okay.
I just want to give you a Dirtwilly hat. These are kind of exclusive.
Dirtwilly. I'll wear it with such pride. I'm ready.
So tell us.
Why Dirtwilly?
Why Dirtwilly?
I was raised in Calgary, and we were going on holidays to the Waterton Lakes. We were going down the highway. My dad would get me reading signs to sort of keep me occupied and keep me shut up. And there was a beautiful ranch just outside of High River. He says, "What's that called?" And I said, "Dirtwilly." It was drift willow. So my parents almost hit the ditch. They were laughing so hard, they figured if I ever got out of grade 4 and amounted to something and got a farm or whatever, it'd have to be Dirtwilly, and that's the name.
Oh, that's a cool story.
Yeah.
Grade 4 was the best 5 years of my life. It's awesome.
How many turkeys would you have?
There's probably about 125 hens and maybe 15, 20 toms.
What prompts them to do that all at the same time, the gobble gobble?
So in this case, most of them are just trying to find out who the wild turkey is that doesn't belong here, and that's why they're all warning each other that you're here and you shouldn't be here or whatever.
Absolutely crazy.
Now these turkeys.
Yeah, everything here. Yeah, everything here could fly a mile if they took off. And if you look at the one here, this big male here that's fanning out, he's got white bands on his tail. Mm-hmm. That's the Miriam wild turkey. That's the one that's in southern Alberta.
Right.
Yeah,
so you could actually...
That's the one I'm going to be cooking up.
Oh, are we?
Yeah,
Miriam?
Are we
that's
cooking
the one.
up that particular one?
Well, not that guy. He'd probably be a little tough. He's about 7 or 8 years old, but he's outlived his usefulness as a breeder. But we like him so much, we'll just let him stay until he kicks the bucket.
Well, he looks nice.
Yeah, he's.
So why is he doing that? Just showing off.
Just showing off to the girls. The girls are these ones here without the red on the neck. Mm-hmm. If you look at his nose, he's got this big long piece of skin hanging down. Mm-hmm. That's called a snod. That's to show off to the girls. Snod.
Snod.
Yeah, snod. And that's to show off to the girls. And if he's threatened by another male, he'll suck that right up and it'll just be a little knob.
Huh.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whether they're turkeys or humans, males always show off.
It's kind of like cold water.
Well, I was just going to say, you'd think he'd want to make it look bigger.
Yeah. And the thing on his neck that looks like that bulbous stuff is called a carungle. And the redder his carungle and the bluer his face, the girls like that more.
Well, his face is very blue.
Yeah.
Can we walk through them? Can we do that?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Will they peck us?
No, no.
So you catch these how?
A big fishing net, and then we put an extended pole on the net. Like a game bird netting is not heavy enough for the bird to fly right through it. So we use something like our netting there on the side of the pen.
And you just
just come by, and once the bird's committed to run, if you put the net in front, they run in. But you always got the added feature that whenever you're catching one, they can hop over it, they can fly down the other end of the pen and that. So it becomes kind of a challenge.
So should we catch it?
Catch it and kill it or cook it?
No, I just feel like a responsibility that we should catch it if we're going to eat it.
Okay.
I don't think that someone else should do all the work. It's my favorite thing.
Come on, Jan, you
I'll
can
get
do
you
this.
over that.
Maybe we should just get a hamburger.
Come on, you can do it.
Oh, you can do it.
Oh, I don't want to hurt her. Oh, God.
Oh, my word.
Well, I could have done that.
Oh, my word.
There you go. Here's your dinner.
Come on.
Oh, she's heavy.
You're plucking her.
What do I do now?
We'll take her and we'll cook her.
We'll take her, okay?
Yeah.
This is our supper. And stay tuned, because you don't want to miss this. It's going to be in a pot.
I keep wanting to call you Willie. Sorry.
That's all right.
Well, and what's your name again?
It's Rick.
When it comes to making mashed potatoes for a special get-together, I tend to spare no calories. I like to use melted butter, warm cream, well, you know, it's not something I'd eat every day, but I think, you know, if you're having people over...
No, did I say anything? Was I complaining?
No.
Butter, cream?
You're going to peel and I'm going to chop.
Okay. I don't want my fingers showing up in our dinner,
that's okay. And, you know, they don't have to be perfect. And often, if it's just for like a during the week thing, I don't even worry about peeling them. But I like to use these. And I don't cut them into tiny little chunks because I don't want them to absorb too much water. And things like turkey, I find it interesting that we sort of just relegate it to Thanksgiving and Christmas when you can just have it any time. But I love the fact that we're doing wild turkey today. But, I mean, you know, if people can't find a wild turkey, well, of course, they can just use your regular domesticated, commercially raised turkeys.
If you can't take the time to go out and take your kids and a gun and go into the foothills and shoot a raw turkey, then you are doing something wrong.
Okay, so I have here 1.5 kilos of potatoes, so roughly 3 pounds. And Jan has potato peel everywhere.
I'm really sorry. You said not to be tidy.
Her shoes.
I do have potato peels on my shoes. I'm probably going to have it in my bra when I get home. Oh.
I've got to go and wash these anyway and fill the pot up with water. Potatoes, when you're cooking potatoes, never put potatoes into boiling water. You probably know that.
No, I didn't know that.
You always start them in cold water. Anything starchy like that. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to wash these.
Okay.
You can clean up there, please.
I'm ahead of you.
So with the turkey out of the oven, it's going to have a little rest. Holy cow, it's not hot or anything. Okay.
It looks gorgeous.
Okay, so I'm just going to cover that, let it rest. Now see all these nice drippings that we have here? We're going to make gravy with that. Okay, so I have a job for you. This is for a warm pea salad that I'm going to make. And I wanted something with crunch so there's a bit of texture. So I'm going to get you to top and tail these.
I know how to do that.
Now while you're doing that, I've got a job for me. If you're having people over, you've got to have some wine.
My mom, you know, when I was your age, well, younger, wine wasn't in, it was vodka. I said, well, vodka's back in too, Mom.
Here, have a little try of that while you're peeing
lovely.
there.
Thank you.
Cheers.
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 Thank you. I think I
You'll
can
be
gag
all
it
right?
back,
Yeah.
yeah. Very nice.
While you're doing that, I thought I'd make the gravy. Just going to heat those up. Now, flour. We need to thicken the gravy.
Your pan's getting a good workout.
You've got to have a good roasting pan. Okay, so that is 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour. Now, important part of gravy making. Do you make your own gravy?
I do.
You got to cook the flour. So you want to cook the flour off, you crack the wheat in the flour. That way it will absorb.
Okay, I didn't know that. I've always got the liquid going and then...
Oh, you put the flour in the liquid straight away?
Well, flour into a jar of milk, that's how we always learned at home, or stock, and you shake it up, and then put it in. That's the way my grandmother always did it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I've got some brandy here. I've got 1/2 cup of brandy.
My word. Really?
Yeah.
Great.
And, I mean, you know, often people will flare it, but I'm not going to do that because I just want to keep the eyebrows and everything intact.
No, I'm not insured for this. So.
Okay, so now I've got broth. So I've got, what have I got here? It's a litre of broth. So I just want to put in a little bit at a time. This is how you make non-lumpy gravy. Just keep stirring it. And that's why I don't understand why people only ever have turkey at holiday
Well, I think they
times.
associate it with just a ton of work, but it isn't anymore.
Well, it's not.
And I think a lot of people, too, worry about, you know, is it cooked enough? And, you know, thermometers are so great for that now because you just look at your food guide, 160 degrees.
Yeah.
What is it?
180.
180 degrees.
180,
Okay,
yeah.
don't do 160, you'll kill people.
It's taken the guesswork out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. You just have more wine to drink. The
Exactly.
I'll just have a sip just to make sure it's still okay.
Oh, I'm
That's
starting to
still
laugh
okay.
like my mother. I just laugh now.
My sister and I make sure we keep each other in check with the, oh, you sound just like Mum.
Yeah.
And my mother says, and what's wrong with that?
Oh, I know, you got to kind of be mindful of that.
But, you know, is your mum a good cook?
You know, she is a good cook. She's great, you know, with a recipe. However, I will tell you, hilariously, a couple of years ago, she made a cheesecake for Christmas, and it didn't set. She said, and it's a good point, well, it's not going to taste any different. So we kind of ladled it into bowls and put the cherry sauce on it, and we sat there and ate it. And honestly, I felt sick. I was laughing so hard. My parents are very, very funny, but they're funny and they don't know they're funny.
Yeah.
Well, every couple of years I'll tour, and when I go through Calgary, which is, I live just outside of Calgary, you know, my mom and dad will come to a show. So one year we're ready to come through, and I said to Mom, well, I'm going to be here in a month. Do you and Dad want to come to the show? Well, is it the same as the last time we went? I'm thinking, well, similar, you know, I'll be singing. Well, no, we don't need to see that again. That's fine. So I'm just like, okay, we're fine. You go.
Okay, I'm pouring the rest of the broth in here.
And it's non-lumpy.
It's not lumpy. There's some bits in it, but they're from gravy.
Orange
That's what
juice.
I'm saying. Orange juice, cup orange juice.
Oh, this is getting very interesting.
Okay, so I've got a little of the zest in the stuffing. When I cook, I like to layer flavours. So, you know, I've got the cranberry in the stuffing, I've got the cranberry in the gravy.
I have never seen gravy with the cranberry in the gravy, orange juice and brandy. Like, I can't even imagine.
You haven't lived
No,
till
I know.
you've tried this.
I can't wait.
Okay, so I'm going to let that bubble up. It takes about 10 or 15 minutes for it to thicken up. Okay, so turkey out. So I'm going to get you to do stuffing extradition. I'm going to do the peas.
Okay.
I'm going to blanch the peas. Okay. This is actually when you need a glass of wine, when you're trying to pull everything together, because the potatoes are done. I'm getting the peas happening.
Okay.
Just blanch them. I don't want to cook them too much. I'm also using frozen peas as well.
Here we go.
So I'll let you deal with that.
It's not going to be pretty.
You're doing stuffing extradition.
Oh, it looks very good.
I'm making brown butter to go in the mashed potatoes and the butter to go on the peas. About 1/2 cup. So, in the other pot, just a couple of tablespoons. And the hazelnuts. I've got like 1/3 cup of roasted hazelnuts.
Oh, man. How long do the peas have to blanch for?
Not long. See, they're
Nice
colour
bright
there.
green.
They're bright green. But to those, I'm going to add these frozen peas. Now, you know, there's nothing wrong with using frozen veggies, especially peas. I always have those in my freezer. So I've got 2 cups of those. And I just want to bring this up to a boil. Get it all hot. Okay, so gravy's done.
Yep.
Potatoes are cooked. Still got to mash those. You've got the stuffing out of the turkey.
Yes, check.
So I'm getting the peas out here. That's the butter you can hear browning there.
It really looks beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, so while I've got these here,
Yep.
I'm going to toss them
Oh
in
my
this hazelnut butter.
Lord. Okay. Fresh pepper?
Yeah, put some pepper in.
Is there a banister missing one of its spools somewhere?
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I've got that happening.
Oh, that looks great.
I've got a pretty bowl for that. I'm just going to set it aside. And I'm going to mash the potatoes.
Okay.
You're going to take... you know what? I'm going to say you're going to take the turkey apart.
Should I set it on the little board there?
Yeah. You do that. I'm going to set the stuffing aside too. I'll get that out of your way. Okay, so my Nana taught me that when you mash potatoes, you always use a fork at the end. So you mash the big lumps out of them, and then you use a fork. So I'm putting the butter that I browned, and getting that in there. Okay. Oh. Now I've got some warmed cream, 1/3 of a cup of cream.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That
well,
just looks
you know,
great.
hey.
White pepper?
We've got white pepper. Now, the reason why I'm using white pepper is so the black pepper doesn't look like dirt through the mashed potatoes.
Oh.
But I really like my mashed potatoes with a bit of pepper. So then I'm just going to stir this to get all the little lumps out, just get it all incorporated. Well, hey, good job. You got most of that meat off.
Yeah, it looks amazing. I think I've eaten quite a bit of it already. But
Okay, so this is done. So I think what we should do is clean up quickly so everything's hot, and then we'll plate it and try some. What do you think? Yeah?
that
Let's
sounds
do that.
so great.
Let's do
those
it.
look so good. Okay.
Okay, let's do that. So we've got quite the feast happening here.
It looks beautiful.
And, you know, and it's important to share good food with family, friends, work colleagues, anybody, really. Thank you. And you. Thank you for coming and being such a good sport yesterday.
So fun. Thank you. I've learned a lot.
Thanks for watching. I'm Lavoni Walker. Join me next time on Simple, Fresh, Delicious. To find my recipes, go to www.myviva.ca/simplefreshdelicious. Okay, so I've got some bad news for you. We are really sharing this with the crew. Yeah, we have to. They were good sports yesterday, hey? It's fine. Let's serve them up, Jan.